Howdy folks, Grumpy Foot here. I'm going to give you all a quick tour of my reloading bench. I'm going to do a series on reloading. There's a million of them out there. I figured I'm going to throw mine in the ring. Point of me doing this is to show people just getting into it how easy it is and how hard it is not. It's nothing too difficult. You just have to pay attention to detail. That's the number one thing. And you can reload your own ammo and save a little bit of money doing it and have something to do when it's raining outside and you can't go shoot. So I'm going to start off here with this right here. This is my workhorse. That's my Lee Breechlock Classic Cast Press. It's a cast iron press, good solid piece of equipment. I've been using it about 5 years now. It's the only press I use. It's the first press I ever bought. It's the only one I've ever used, and I have no issue with it, no complaint. It is a good press. You can adjust it. You can move the handle to the, I got mine set on the right side. You can move it to the left side if you want. No complaints with this press. That primer tube's about full there. That's how much reloading I've been doing with it the past couple months. But no, good solid piece of equipment. You know, I'm not a salesman, but I would recommend this if you're just getting started out. It's about $100 for that press, but it'll do the job and it won't let you down. I'm very proud of that press. Now moving on, a piece of equipment, you know, that's necessary to reload. It's a press. Another thing you're going to need is a scale. Now right here is my scale. That right there is my RCBS model 505. Now it's a manual scale. It works off weights and magnets, but it's not electronic. I had an electronic scale I used for a couple years, but the problem I had with it was it started getting old. It started lying to me on my numbers. It started going up and down a grain or two on a charge. I'd let it sit and it'd go down, it'd go up. I just got to where I didn't trust it. I didn't know if it was doing what it said it was doing. So I went with something that don't require batteries, so I don't have to worry about if the batteries are going low, it's going to go out or whatever. So I went with this one, and I'm very pleased with the purchase. It takes a little more time than the digital, but I do believe it is much more precise. Now the digital will work for you if you know, if you can find one for the price you're looking at. I got nothing against them. I have one in my drawer here, but I prefer this one. Typically when I'm loading for precision or I'm loading for plinking. So when I'm loading for precision, I don't mind taking the extra time because it does the trick and I know that it's right. It does not lie to me. Now, also over here, it's not necessary to have, but it does help. It saves time. Is that right there is a powder trickler. Now, a trickle in my powders, what I do on my precision loads is I'll throw the charge, I'll put it in that scale and check it, and I always throw them short, you know, a little light, and then I'll trickle in the remainder to get it to the precise load within 1/10 of a grain that I want. And that does the trick. That's my setup for precision. But as far as scales go, you know, if you like the digital, get a digital. You know, if you trust it and you like it, then you do what you like. Don't worry about what other people say. I like the analog. You know, I like the manual scale, so the balance beam. So get what you like. Now, next piece of equipment I use is this right here. This is my Lee Perfect Powder Measure. Now, this isn't necessary to reload. You do not have to have this. I got this about a year ago because it saves me a little time. I can throw my charges. If I'm plinking, I'll set it to throw the charge I want, and if it's a grain light or a grain heavy, it's okay because I'm just plinking with it. If I'm loading for precision, I'll throw a light charge and then trickle up, like I was mentioning a minute ago, trickle up to the precision charge that I want. Now, this ain't the best, it ain't the fanciest, it definitely ain't the most expensive, but it does what I need it to do, and that's all I'm after is a tool that does the job. This one will do it if you're looking for a powder trickler. Now, there's other ones out there, you know, go with what you like and what makes you feel good. Now, the next piece of equipment I use is this right here. This is a Lyman Universal Case Trimmer. Now this case trimmer here, all it does is trims cases. It doesn't do anything fancy. It ain't gonna, skim the neck, or it ain't gonna turn anything. All it does is cuts the cases to length, and then you go from there. I like it. It's simple. It works very well. Once you've got it set up, you can rip through these cases. Now I used to do them by hand, and it took me about 3 times the time as it does to do it with this thing, and that's the reason I bought it, is because I was just trying to save a little bit of time. Nice thing I like about it is that you got this little guide right here It comes with a set of them for all different calibers. Back here you can see them. They fit inside the stand there. For all different calibers to trim any cases you want. Anything you'd shoot, a normal shooter, I don't know if I doubt it ain't gonna do no 50 BMG, but it'll do pistols and it'll do rifle rounds. You know, most common rifle rounds. I've had no issue with it, and I like it. Now, just something, you see this basket here. These are some 223 cases I'm trimming up. This is something I use to save a little bit of time here. Is I'll take this basket and I'll put what I'm working on in this basket. And as I trim it, you know, I'll put it here, trim it, throw it out, and then I'll put them in this other basket. And I don't label them because I know which one is which and where it goes, but that saves me a little bit of time and confusion of not knowing what's where. Now you see these little cases back here. Those are already trimmed and deburred. These in this basket here ain't deburred yet. That's why they're separated. But that's all the basic tools that I use. Now you're gonna need, you know, of course, your dies, which are here. You know, I have these dies, and you can get the RCBS or you can get the Lee or the Redding or whatever you like, whatever you prefer to use. It's up to you. You're gonna need dies, and another thing, probably one of the most important things outside of your press and dies, is this right here. You're gonna need a cookbook, a manual, reloading manual, whatever you want to call it. I bought this one because I never had one, so I just bought it just to get one, and I am very happy with this. Lee makes good blue collar products. It's not fancy, it's no frills, but it does what it needs to do. This book has charges for several different weight bullets in several different calibers. There's a few that I've looked for in here that aren't in here, but they're, you know, not real common rounds. And this, you know, this thing was written a while back. It's an older book, but yeah, you're gonna need you a manual, and it comes in good. Now, as far as reloading goes, the next thing I would suggest, if you don't want to invest the money in a press and dies and all this other stuff, they make this thing here. Lee does. Now I bought it. Again, I'm not a salesman for Lee or nothing, so don't take that as anything. But I just want y'all to see another little thing they make here. This here is called the Lee Loader. Now in this thing, if you just want to try your feet, now this is what I did. I bought this thing first. First reloading tool I ever bought was this. And the reason is, with this tool, it comes with loading data, all the information for, it's only for caliber specific. Now this is for 30-06. Now it comes with different bullets, different charges for those, you know, for those bullets, those powders, okay? Now, you pick your powder off that chart, and you got this little scooper here, dipper they call it, and you load it in there, and you do all your reloading with this one little tool. Costs you about, I don't know, $30 or so. But you can reload with this. If you only got one gun, you can reload with this tool here, and not have to buy any of this other stuff I showed you. So this is my first video on my reloading here. So I'm going to do more videos on the procedures and the steps. But I just want to get y'all familiar with what I got and what I use. And it's not complicated. It is not difficult. It is a simple process. Been doing it for over 100 years. Anyway, if y'all got any comments or anything else y'all would like to see or any questions, you can shoot me a message or however that works, and I'll get with y'all then. Until next time, y'all be good.